The telecom and IT sectors are one of the biggest in Nigeria right now. And some time ago, Odu'a Telecoms was licensed to operate. What is the position of that company right now?
Thank you, my brother. I was talking about talent a moment ago, and I talked about buying talent. You actually resource talent and create an environment also for talents to thrive. The challenge is that we went to a sector on the basis of emotion and feel good, and we thought we could write it. In addition, our governance was very weak. Typically, you will find out that when telecoms was liberalized in 2001, a lot of the top management people in these entities were expatriates from overseas who already tested in specific markets. We entered the sector, localizing everything. Even people who were leading that business were people working with us before that technological revolution came. And of course, what you know is what you know. I mean, it's like myself today that I'm privileged to have two group executives that just join me. They are coming with their own tons of experience, which makes us better as a team compared to myself trying to be jack of all trades. So we missed it, that it was a feel-good sentiment that we put into it. And regrettably, the courage to retrace our steps was also lacking. So we pumped in more and more money. So we've learned from this, and we will not get involved in those things without applying the rules as I've mentioned. And that's why governance is very strong. Because it's just to think about the current board. How will such a thing fly through that board? Because the right questions will be asked that will not allow it to happen. So by every description, it was a misadventure. And it remains a challenge on how we actually fully tidy up on that misadventure. It's not fully tidied up at this point in time. The situation is that the entity still exists, but we are a minority shareholder. And let me be frank with you. The question is that if I become a minority shareholder, I ought to have solved the problem with that decision. And regrettably again, we lacked the courage. So it was like we were 100% owner, we became minority shareholder, and yet the problem is still not solved. So that's the unfortunate thing about that. But however, with the strengthening of governance and a very clear understanding from the shareholder point of view, we will not approach things like that in the future. And that's why it's necessary that you actually look for square pegs to put in square holes. Let us recognize what our limitations are and go all out there. Relate to people who we accept have better competence and knowledge than us. Partner with them. We bring in our strength from a goodwill point of view and the ownership we have. That's our strength. Let them bring in their what can call their own production and technical capability, their own financial powers, so that we complement each other and you have a flying company. This is what our forebears did in those companies where we were significant shareholders in the past. When they were forming Nwafor, West African Portland Cement, those were the things. We didn't have the know-how about making cement. But we realized that as a company approaching or just getting to independence, infrastructural development for us is going to come. We are going to need cement. How long are we going to continue importing? So we attracted the guys from that we were importing from, and we ended up creating West African Portland Cement at Adewale in 1959. And we were joint owners. At the end of the day, they started producing here, giving opportunities for our people to be employed, and also developing capacity and our economy as a whole. So that's what we want to reinforce on multiple fields. The other element where the strategic partnership is also being used, how we are going to achieve this, is that it allows us to participate in multiple fields.
Okay.
Like if we decide to say, okay, we want to fix the hotel, we are still the owner. Are you getting me? We will just get sunk trying to manage. We might end up succeeding, but we have only succeeded in delivering one thing. But with the strategy we are using, we can actually be dealing with 10 different items, because we probably have 8 partners that we are dealing with, which means that our impact will be huge, and we can play across sectors. 2 sectors I've mentioned. If you have a good partner to manufacture drugs here in Nigeria, pharmaceutical drugs, that's fantastic. They also the certification, from overseas, also the formulation and what have you already. That won't be a problem for them to get now that certification and what have you. They know what to do.
Yeah.
So it's only now producing to the market, and when they start producing, the mark, the footprint that is local production, meant that we are retaining the money here. After all, the market is here. So we earn the money, and that's how we get people rich. Because people get to go and work there.
Yeah.
They earn their own. They pay their taxes. Government collects its own, which is payee. Federal government takes its own from company income tax. The environment also.
Yeah.
They make a footprint. Sometimes where they are located, they are the one bring water, they are the one bring light into the place. The community around there, if it doesn't exist, springs up, benefits from transporters come, suppliers come, These are the things that we need to do. So really, it is the capability and capacity and making sure that the resource and talent to do it. You remove emotions and politicization out of it. So for us as an organization, innovation and creativity is very important. And then once we have an open mindset, it is easy for us to absorb new things coming. There will be training and retraining, capacity building. There will also be on the job where somebody else will hold your hand on how to go about it. But you have to open up your mind about it. And that's the assurance we are giving. That this change cannot happen by us remaining who we are. Even including myself, who has been here for 6 years. It's a new thing we are trying to do. And that process requires change. Now, in the process of this, it doesn't always come smooth sailing. There will be friction along the line. But what is important is that once you have the mindset, there is not a straightforward traffic. Whenever those things come up, you put on the engagement required to try and resolve them. And easily, probably the most important requirement is an openness of what your intentions are. And that's why that vision is quite clear. We have stated that's what we want to be. We say we have a vision, we want to be a world-class organization. So 2 years down the line, people should be asking the board and the management to say, that hotel on the hill, is that world-class? Even if it has not attained world-class then, that journey must have been halfway. To say, okay, it's actually true. I went to the place, I can't believe it. And it should be a place where, as we say world class, that people should be dreaming of coming from outside Nigeria, the way it's positioned. And what's part of the thinking which we are getting from our board members is that hospitality is not about accommodation for people to sleep. It's about leisure and entertainment destination. And it's when people have gotten themselves entertained that they now want to get relaxation after it. And that's when sleeping comes. So the hotel is not about people coming inside to come and sleep. It is more like what is difficult for you to create in your house. The network that can happen in your house. That's what the hotel presents as a platform for you. And you relate with people, which will not happen in your house unless people you know and you invite to your house. You meet people because it's a destination. And in the process, you're able to foster your life, both socially and economically. So it should be a destination for entertainment. And we should allow those who are experts in this area to actually create the vision of what that place should turn to. It's not just that, okay, we're going to renovate the rooms. You should go beyond that. Maybe it should be more like, look at the slope. Can that slope be dry skiing? Because it's a natural slope.
Yeah.
Can it be dry skiing? And maybe after the dry skiing, you now have an escalator that is able to bring you from that lower place again, bring you up. Imagine what our children are going to like that. Children, you glide down from that top to cultural center, and you follow an escalator to come up. Parents are in trouble. You have to take them there. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to be. And when you are doing that for children, you also make things available also for the elders, the young adults too. That's what it's supposed to be. So you don't just look at, I go to that block called Premier Hotel and everything's within that block. No, you go to a theme park area and you have option of 12 different things that you can do. That's the ideal that is world class. The expertise to deliver it is world class. The money to do it also is world class. That is the vision we're trying to do.